Hey Aries, we're going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what's going on for you guys, Aries. All right, Aries. Let's see. All right, guess we're starting here. All right. Let's see. Okay, so you guys have the Five of Cups. This is showing up actually for your like current energy right now. So maybe there's something that you are looking in the past for, or there could be something that is just maybe like disappointing, okay? Something about that. But I do feel like it's interesting because I'm also getting this understanding of you guys being like, all right, maybe I'm mourning something from the past, or again, like a disappointment. But at the same time, I almost feel like this energy is like already shifting, or is going to maybe shift somewhat soon, because I also really am getting, like, I'm actually seeing you guys like looking forward, like looking like into the future, kind of, it's almost like picking up the pieces of something and kind of like moving on, that kind of stuff. So maybe there's even an energy of like acceptance, something regarding that. So all right, you guys have the Knight of Pentacles. This is showing up in like the environment around you, kind of what's going on. So I feel like the energy maybe is just slow moving, okay? There might be something here that's maybe taking a really long time, or I'm wondering if maybe even there's a situation around you where maybe you're feeling like, okay, I'm kind of ready to like start moving forward on something, but maybe you're feeling like, okay, I have to like plan everything first, you know, something about that. Or again, there's just this energy of like, things are slowing down, like, you know, something like that. All right, let's see. So, okay. So for your challenge, you guys have, well, we'll start with your Oracle card. For your challenge, it says a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. And then you have it with the Four of Wands. So again, this is showing up for your challenge. So a little bit interesting. A win-win outcome is forecast. All right, so maybe this is something that you're like, I don't really actually want to compromise on something here. I actually just want to have like things like my way, or, you know, something like that. All right, that could certainly be it. I also wonder if maybe there's something here that possibly, I don't know. I feel like something was finalized, and it was like, it's almost like the verdict was like, okay, like you're both going to get what you want, or something like that. But that seems to be showing up as, again, some type of challenge. I even wonder if you're in the energy of maybe possibly even thinking like, maybe I should go back to something and like change something a little bit. But if that's the case, I do think that there's something already like in the works. Again, maybe it's, again, slow moving energy, but I feel like there's something about, again, something being in the works, or something like already kind of being like mapped out or figured out, you know, something like that. So, all right. I even wonder if this was an assumption of some sort. I wonder if there was an assumption that, like, you know, something was going to be like a mutually beneficial something or other here. Okay, that could also be something. So, all right, for your opportunity, you guys have the last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more, and then you have it with the Hanged Man. So that's kind of awesome, okay? Well, I guess depending. I feel like it's kind of an awesome opportunity to, like, the Hanged Man, and then there's like the same energy, I swear to God. Talk less, feel more, last quarter moon in Pisces, and then the Hanged Man. So yeah, maybe you guys have an opportunity in either changing your perspective about something, that kind of stuff, or even taking a break. It could be that maybe you're wondering like, God, why is this thing taking so long? Maybe that's working in your favor, okay? You know, I will say that like sometimes when things take a really long time, like sometimes that's like supposed to be what's going on. You know, it means that you're building like a solid foundation on something, or that there's still things that are like being kind of worked out, that kind of stuff, right? That's what I'm feeling. I almost feel like you're assuming something is a loss, but it's like, again, either the energy around whatever this is like slowly building, that kind of stuff, but you might be interpreting it as like, okay, this is a loss, that kind of stuff. So, and that's what I was saying, like it feels like the energy is kind of like shifting. I want to say more into like a positive direction. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. Aries. All right, so you guys have this Five of Cups here for your energy. So let's see what this is all about. All right. The Eight of Swords is at the bottom. So yeah, there's like this feeling of like maybe being a little bit trapped, or or maybe not really seeing a solution out of something, but I almost feel like you do. I almost feel like you do know like maybe the way to go forward on something, or how to even maybe like get out of something here, okay? That kind of situation. I feel like there's like an opportunity in that. So, all right, with the Five of Cups, you guys have the Six of Pentacles showing up in the previous energy. So I kind of wonder if you're feeling like possibly maybe you gave into like the wrong connection, or that you maybe even overgave to something, all right? That kind of situation. I also wonder if there's like a question about like where have I been placing my time, attention, whatever it is, okay? I am getting a sense of like over giving into something, or maybe like putting too much in, like putting too much into something, that kind of stuff. And I wonder if now you're in this energy of being like, God, maybe I wish I didn't like give that all away, or you know, something regarding that. I even understand something about you guys, maybe even like, I want to say readjusting your priorities in something, or you know, something like that. There's an energy of like almost being like, I want to go back in time to like make that more balanced, or make that like more fair, something regarding that. There could have even been a situation where maybe I don't know, somebody gave you something, or you gave somebody something, and maybe like you didn't hear back or something about that, but it feels like you're maybe like disappointed about that, or this is yeah, something regarding that, okay? I'm wondering if you went into a situation hoping that there was going to be more like give and take, or more like reciprocity in some sense. And I'm wondering if that maybe you're just kind of, it almost feels like questioning something from the past, being like, should I have done that? Or should I have like evened that out? Or, you know, should I have responded back to that? Or, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. So, all right. In the energy around you, you guys, interesting, have the Knight of Pentacles, and then you have it with the Five of Pentacles previous. So, this kind of feels like the energy of somebody being like, you know what, never mind, I'm taking my stuff and I'm leaving. Like, that's like literally what this feels like, okay? So this is happening in the energy around you guys. So there's, I gotta tell you, there's kind of an energy of like being kind of bummed out, you know, with you guys, and then like whatever's going on here, it's almost like this feeling of being like, well, that didn't help, and now we have to replan something. Or again, this feeling of, maybe feeling like you've been forgotten about, or feeling like you've been like left out of the cold, or there could even be something that you were like, I didn't really want to be like recognized for that, or I don't really want to put all the attention on this particular thing, okay? There's definitely something about like a loss, maybe even a financial loss for some of you guys, all right? That kind of situation. But I do feel like the energy, again, is like slowly moving in some capacity. Like whether this is somebody who's like maybe even overthinking or over planning, maybe being like a little bit of a perfectionist on how to move forward. I also find this to be somebody who might be really, really slow or hesitant to ask for help for a certain thing, all right? That kind of stuff. All right, so let's see. So let's get into your challenge here. So again, you guys have that a win-win outcome is forecast, this full moon in Libra, and then you have it with this Four of Wands, and you also have it with the Eight of Pentacles. So I think in the past here, part of this challenge was maybe you guys putting a lot of work into something, or even maybe feeling like, I almost want to say that like your efforts were in vain for some reason, all right? That kind of stuff. That might have been something in the past. I also understand maybe something not being done on time, okay? Something might have not been done on time for one reason or another. It could be that you had to maybe put something on the back burner here to like focus on something else that maybe needed like immediate planning, or needed to be like strategized in a certain way. I don't know, something like that, all right? That's kind of what I'm understanding. It also feels like the challenge is like, all right, I'm going to do up to this point, and then somebody else needs to take over. But it almost feels like maybe you're like, yeah, but I'd rather do the whole thing by myself, or I don't know, or something like that. Or you're feeling like when these two parts come together, like that's the challenge. Maybe that's what it is a challenge in kind of bringing two things together here that, again, you've been maybe like working on, or maybe even just like, you know, getting a lot better about something, maybe trying to focus on something. I even wonder if this is the challenge, is focusing too hard on the end result, or focusing too hard on like, I don't even want to say the end result, but like a mile marker, or I don't know, something like that, focusing on that in some sense, all right? I don't know. I do want to say something about like a flag. I don't know what's up with that, but I do want to say something regarding that. So, all right, you guys have the Knight of Wands, and then you have it with the Lover's card, and this is showing up as like kind of what to do, and like what that energy is going to do for you guys. So I do think there's an energy of like kind of, I want to say making fast moves, or not giving not giving yourself a chance to overthink something. All right, that's what I'm saying. I also want to say I think there's an opportunity to salvage something. What that is, I'm not really sure, but I do think that there's an energy to, or an opportunity in any case to do that. Maybe working really fast with something. All right, yeah, working really fast with something, or at the very least being like, nope, this is what I want and I'm going for it. Like, that's what it is, all right? You know, certainly could be. I wonder if you've been working so hard at something and you're like waiting for a particular like benchmark, or for a particular like, okay, now we're done, or now we can take a rest here. This thing is like official. It's official now. That kind of stuff, all right? That could certainly be part of whatever this is. Maybe some of you guys are co-parenting with somebody else, or there's just, again, like two different parts like acting that need to like come together. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So I feel like this Knight of Wands, you know, bringing in this Lover's card energy, it's either giving you like another chance to maybe make something more harmonious or more even, or again, I really kind of see this as bringing in those two parts together. Whatever these two parts that I feel like I'm talking about here, I feel like that's something that could be, that you could get, again, by I think working quickly and maybe not like over controlling yourself, you know, that kind of stuff. You also might have to be kind of like, I want to say like assertive in some sense, all right? You might kind of maybe need to like make like your presence known, or at least like really like saying what it is that you want and then acting on it, all right? That kind of stuff. Not just like leaving it like up in the air, that kind of thing, all right? Okay, so you have the Emperor here, and this is showing up as what to avoid. So, I do think that this is like an energy of maybe not allowing somebody else to dictate what it is that you want to do or where it is that you want to go, that kind of stuff, okay? I feel like this has something to do with maybe avoiding anything that is like overly, again, like controlling, or a person maybe that's overly controlling, that kind of stuff. That certainly could be an energy to kind of like stay away from in some sense. There also might be like a particular, I want to say like a friggin' institution or like something here. I don't know, something kind of like serious, I want to say, that maybe there's like an avoidance of that, okay? That kind of situation. For some of you guys, I almost understand this as avoiding like the person in charge, whoever the person is in charge is. I don't know, maybe that's what it is. And it could also be saying like avoid like a power struggle and whatever this is. Because again, your challenge is like linked in with this like a win-win forecast. So, you know, maybe that's not what you're wanting. Again, maybe you're like, I don't really want to compromise. I want to get like, you know, I want the whole win. I don't want, you know, it's almost like, it's like, I don't want to win the little battles along the way. I want to win like the major thing, you know, whatever that is. So kind of understand that. So, all right. Yeah, I do want to say something about power struggles. I really do. Or, you know, something, being like, who's in charge? Like, or feeling like you always have to be in charge of something, you know, that kind of stuff. All right. All right, so you guys have the Star card, and then you have it with the Hanged Man showing up for your opportunity. So your opportunity seems to be like really like spiritually based, or has something to do with like really going within or giving yourself a second to maybe assess the situation, like taking a break, okay? It could be capitalizing on whatever this energy here is with this Knight of Pentacles, you know, like kind of a slow moving, like methodical type of energy, that kind of stuff, all right? That might be like linked into whatever is going on. I got to tell you, it's almost like kind of adapting to the energy that's going on around you, or, you know, the momentum of like the universe or something about that. So I feel like in the past energy, I think you did kind of go through a healing process, or maybe something was getting better, that kind of situation, all right? That could certainly be it. But I feel like whatever this is, you came out of a certain, maybe like a healing experience, or maybe you had a heart-to-heart with an Aquarius person, whatever the heck it is, but it feels like there's this opportunity to like, again, have a different perspective on something, or just, you know, seeing something from a different lens, or at the very least, allowing yourself to like give yourself a break, or being like, you know what, maybe the momentum is slowing down. I'm going to kind of like rest in that, or I'm going to kind of rest in that energy. My ear just started ringing. So I don't know. There's something in that. So I don't know. Let's see what else. You have the Knight of Pentacles again, and then you have it with the Tower card. This is showing up as like what to do and what it's going to kind of, bring in for you. So yes, I definitely feel like this is like making moves on something, okay? It's like even if the energy feels slow, that doesn't mean that you can't be in an energy of like preparing stuff or getting yourself ready or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. I want to say like checking over lists or making sure that like when it is time to do something or when like all systems are ready, whatever it is, that it's like I am also ready. I'm going to follow that momentum. Like I have like my bags packed, like that kind of stuff. That's almost what this feels like. Then you have the Tower card with it. So I feel like this is putting you in a really good position to be absolutely like prepared for something that maybe is happening out of the blue, that kind of stuff, or that this is just like, you know what, we've been kind of assuming that this might happen. Now it is happening, or like here it is, but now you're ready. You're prepared. You've been doing like a lot of hard work. I even feel like I feel like either the universe is working like in your favor, or you literally have people working for you who are like trying to help in some capacity, that kind of stuff. But I also do understand somebody who is having a hard time speaking up and asking for help for whatever reason. Maybe this is somebody who, really wants to like appear like, oh, I know everything, that kind of stuff. I don't mean that in like an insult. I just mean it, and it's not the easiest thing to be like, I don't know, I don't understand that, or I need help on whatever that is, or I'm lost on that, or, something regarding that. So, all right. I also wonder if somebody around you has felt like they have like time and time again been like ignored from something, or have been like left out in the cold like one too many times, that kind of stuff. I actually am kind of picking up that energy, but I do also feel like there's like, I don't know, seeing like somebody else's perspective of something, that kind of situation. And again, there has been an energy of you guys feeling better about something or healing through something, that kind of stuff. There's also I want to say something about like watering your garden and somebody else's. And this came out in one of the readings, I don't know, one of the readings on the channel. And the message was a little bit different, but there was something about that. So, all right. Okay, so if it is that you're looking for maybe something to kind of like really change, or for the energy to move, again, it just feels like being prepared and just kind of like working hard, that kind of stuff. Maybe making like slow moves as opposed to like sprinting in some sense. That might be something that is like, in your favor. But I got to tell you, I feel like I wouldn't get too comfortable with the slow moving energy, because I'm telling you, I feel like it's like, maybe it's like slow, and then it's like, whoa, like, speed racer, something like that. All right. I'm really understanding like a shift in energy, a shift in momentum, whatever the heck it is. All right. Something regarding that. So I definitely pick up that energy. So you have the Hanged Man reversed. This is showing up as what to avoid, which is kind of funny. Your opportunity is the Hanged Man with this like talk less, feel more. So, all right. I'm even wondering if you have shared something with somebody, okay? And I wonder if you're just like, they're just not getting it. And I don't mean like they don't understand it. I mean someone who's like, they're just not, maybe not able to see a different perspective, or maybe somebody is like very much in like their own ways, that kind of stuff, and is having a really hard time seeing like how somebody else might be feeling, or whatever the heck it is, whatever the situation is, okay? That kind of stuff, I mean, the Star card, to me, that is such a big card of like, I see this as like a lot of feelings, feeling like a lot of stuff, that kind of thing. And then with the Hanged Man, it's almost like, all right, why am I feeling this? Or how would they feel if the tables were turned? Or, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. So with this, again, so with the Hanged Man reverse showing up as what to avoid, I think right now is maybe an avoidance of coming to a screeching halt, okay? Again, yes, the energy feels like maybe it's a little bit slow right now, that kind of stuff, okay? Or there's, again, a hesitation to ask, to like maybe like straight up ask for help. Maybe somebody has asked for help and maybe they were met with an answer they didn't like, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. I feel like this is like, again, taking a break, but not like a permanent one, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between taking a break and giving up. Those are two different things, okay? We are all humans. We're supposed to be anyway. I don't know. Maybe we're not. Whatever. It's okay. It's not time for that. But there's a difference between giving yourself a break and then being like, I'm just going to abandon this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. I also think there is really something about like, I want to say active listening. And by that, I mean, active listening, like really like listening to what's going on, as opposed to waiting to like make a rebuttal, or waiting to like defend yourself, or waiting to, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. Okay. That's what I'm feeling. This might be an energy that you're experiencing, or maybe somebody around you is kind of presenting in that way, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here. So that's what I have for you guys. I was about to call you Pisces, but that's because you just have like a lot of Pisces energy here. All right, so that's what I have for you guys, Aries. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements, and I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.